Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of First Chapter Friday. So we're gonna switch genres on you this week. Last week we had like a whole murder suspense type vibe going on. Really hoping some of you decide to check that one out and let me know what you think. But this week we're gonna totally switch it up to like a slice of life realistic fiction book. It's called Forget Me Not, and it's by an author named Ellie Terry. So it follows a character named Calliope. And the interesting thing about her is that she has something called Tourette syndrome. And Tourette syndrome is where you're kind of not always in control of your body. Like your body does movements that you don't control. You can say words and sounds that you can't control. They're called tics. So Calliope for short, they call her Callie. So Callie suffers from Tourette syndrome. But what makes it even harder, because it's always hard to be different, but what makes it even harder is that her mom's kind of a hot mess and she moves her all the time. They're constantly moving from place to place. So she's constantly trying to readjust to a new school and make new friends. And it's just her life's kind of tricky. But she's a cool kid. She is really into astronomy, and she's a really likable character. So the story starts off with her and her mom moving again. Um, but what I didn't realize when I first started reading this story is that it shifts perspective. Like if you've ever read the book Wonder, and like each chapter kind of shifts perspective from one character to the next, and they'll switch who's telling the story, or even like Ungifted was. This book kind of does that too. And I didn't realize it at first because it's pretty tricky how they do it. So let me show you this really quick before we move on, because if you choose to read this book, I'm going to save you some confusion that I had at the beginning. Okay, so what I want to show you is this. Maybe. Hello. Okay. So what I discovered is it's all about the font at the top. So first of all, what I want you to notice is that this book becomes a super quick read because there's really no chapters in it. It just has almost like diary entries. Like if you've read Kwame Alexander, it's kind of set up like his books where you read them really fast because they're not full chapters. It's like entries. But then as I was reading it, I was like, this seems to bounce a little bit, even though it doesn't tell you that it's bouncing between characters. I started to realize it was, and I realized it's all about the font. So whenever the font is kind of this smaller font, it's Callie or Calliope telling the story. Okay. So Calliope, but right here, if you look over on this page, this is the easiest way to see the difference. Do you see how this font is a little bit different and a little bit bigger? So what I realized is that's when it's switching characters. Okay, so Callie, other character, because you can tell when they switch the font. But it's funny because they don't tell you that. Like you don't realize that. You think it's Calliope telling the whole story until you get to where we're going to end this today. But I wanted to tell you that because I had to go back and reread it again once I realized that. I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. Like, oh, okay, now I see what the issue is. So, anyhow, the character you are also going to be reading that you don't know you're going to be reading until you get a little bit farther into the story is a boy, and his name is, I think, Jin Song. And what I'll do is as we read through this, I'll let you know when it's switching between Callie and I'll make sure I'm saying that correctly, but I think it is Jin Song, is the new neighbor that she meets. Yeah, Jin Song. So I'll let you know who's talking because otherwise it gets a little bit confusing. So here's a line that stood out to me that I really like, and it's wouldn't talking about something make it better understood, right? Like, should she hide that she has this Tourette syndrome? Should she just let people know? It becomes a big crux of the story. And this is how it starts, is with Callie talking. So let me get you started on this so you can see what you think about it. Callie, Saturday morning. I open my dresser drawers and find them empty, empty, empty. The heck? Not again. I check the closet, the hamper, under my bed. Mom, I yell so she can hear. What'd you do with my clothes? She doesn't answer me. which I know means we're moving. I find her in the living room, eyes half closed, lips pinched tight. She dumps an armful of socks into a brown moving box. It's over, she says. Let's go, she says. And don't forget the kitchen rags, she says. I let out a long sigh. I'm not even going to get to say goodbye to my teachers. I sneak into the bathroom and close the door so she can't see me pulling out my hair. See, my hair is the only thing I've ever liked about myself. It's long and wavy and golden. Dad used to call it amber waves of grain, like that song, America the Beautiful. That's an illusion. Which is why I wish that I didn't wind strands of it around my finger, twirl them once, twirl them twice, and then yank them out. Ouch. And I flush the hair down the toilet because I can't let mom see. And mom said the next time she sees me do it, she's going to cut it all off. Now we switch to ginseng. We don't know that at first, but I know that now. It's called fastball. Coach Todd, my private pitching coach, holds a baseball between his fingers as though he's showing me something breakable. Fastballs are the most important pitches to learn, he says. Oh man, I was hoping we were going to work on my curveball this morning. If you can learn how to throw them hard, he continues, you'll be a step ahead of your competition by the time spring rolls around. Spring. Let's see. That means I've got 5 months until Little League tryouts. 5 months to learn how to throw faster and harder. My buddies Duncan Gray and Niall Jacks have done the club ball with me for the past 4 years. Now we're ready to move on to bigger things, like getting drafted to play on the Royals. Those guys are seriously good. They're the best of the best. Most of them are expected to make the All-Star team next year. It would be totally awesome if Duncan, Niall, and I could all make the Royals. But the problem is, there's 3 of us, and there's only one open spot, and rumor has it, it's for pitcher. We're back to Callie. It would be nice to stay in one place long enough to make a best friend, to keep a best friend. But every time mom breaks up with one of her silly boyfriends, it's always grab the keys, pack the car, hit the road, and don't look back. So here we are driving again to who knows where, maybe just away, tires dizzying themselves as they speed across the pavement. Like all the times before, the white dashes blurring together into one long line. We won't slow down until mom's grip loosens and her smile returns, and then we'll pull over and we'll make a new home in whichever town we land in. For breakfast, mom tosses me a bag of cheese puffs. Eat, she says. I scowl and I toss the bag back at her. Nothing, not even cheese covered puffs of yumminess, can fill the gaping hole inside my heart, the gaping hole where a friend should go. Finally, we roll to a stop in St. George, Utah. Bright blue skies, hills the color of rust, speckled by sagebrush, unlike any town I've ever seen, looks like someone took a paintbrush and dipped it in a sunset. I wish that pretty paintbrush could sweep away this feeling of the hot air suffocating me. And now we've got ginseng. I'm sitting by the living room window when a small yellow car pulls into the parking lot of our boring apartment complex. A girl climbs out of the passenger side wearing cutoff jeans and a faded blue t-shirt that reads, "Give me some space," in large black letters. The afternoon sunlight bounces off of her hair like a pot of sparkling gold. Wow, the only girl I've ever seen with hair that long is Beatrice Lopez, and hers looks nothing like a pot of gold. The girl and the woman with her, I'm guessing it's her mother, carry boxes of stuff up the stairs. On their second trip up, the girl spots me through the window and smiles. It makes me forget what I was doing by the window in the first place. Now we're back to Callie. Hang up my clothes, blow up my bed, pull out my socks, stack my astronomy books in a corner. Done in 7 minutes. Mom's sniffling in her bedroom, so I walk in and wrap my arms around her waist and let her tears fall onto my face, and I listen to her promise that someday she'll meet someone who's handsome and funny and kind and most of all, financially stable, because 2 incomes is better than 1. Mom wipes her eyes. Let's finish unpacking and then we'll go to dinner, she says. I open a box of bath towels and I groan. Oh no. I left the shampoo bottle open and packed it upside down. The towels are soaked, but on the bright side, they smell like sun kissed pears. Mom presses her hands into her temples. Okay, how about I go get dinner and a new bottle of shampoo while you go wash the towels? I nod and I tell her I'm sorry. She kisses my forehead. That's okay. Love you, sweet pea. Now, Jin Song's perspective. The new girl trudges down the stairs with a basket of towels in her arms. I happen to be sitting by the window again. She makes her way to the laundry house that all of the residents here share. I should probably go down and meet her. After all, one of my duties as the Blackridge Student Body President is to assist in welcoming new students. I run to my room, sliding down the hall in my socks, and grab some dirty clothes off the floor. I'm gonna go do some laundry, I yell, before heading out the front door. My younger brother, Chonglin, follows me, but I reach the laundry house way before he does, and I lock him out. Back to Callie. A boy lifts the lid on a washing machine and keeps glancing at me while he puts in his clothes, mostly baseball jerseys, like the one he's wearing now, like the one Dad wore on Saturday mornings before everything changed. I'm Callie, I tell him. I moved into number 14. The boy slams the lid, presses start, and smiles at me with eyes that are the color of cinnamon. Jinsong. Callie looks to be about my age, and she kind of smells like pears, my favorite fruit. I take a huge breath. Ah, next door lives Jinsong, I tell her. Ugh, crud. I mean, I'm Jinsong. I live in 15. What grade are you in? Seventh, she said. How about you? Same. She lifts herself onto one of the washing machines. Her hair is so long she's actually sitting on it. She fans her face with her hand. Is it always hotter than a volcano here? I laugh. Nah, it's cooled down some. You should have been here in the summer. It got up to 113 this year. She shakes her head. That's awful. You'll get used to it. Yeah, she smiles. Maybe I will. Callie keeps winking and doing this thing with her lips where she pulls them together. It looks like she's about to kiss someone, and she does it so often that I can't help thinking she probably likes me. Sweet. Poor thing, she's just doing her ticks. Now back to Callie. By the time I was 4, Mom could tell I had a lot of quirks. Her words, not mine. I would chew my nails down to bloody stumps. I would eat my food in a certain order, and I would worry about everything. Sometime during second grade, I started having tics, like twitching my nose, tensing up my arms, and humming quietly. Nothing too bad, nothing anyone paid attention to. But now my Tourette's is harder to hide. But I have to try if I want to make friends. I have to try. And that's where I'm going to leave you for today. So the book goes on to kind of talk about their adjustment and the friendship that ends up happening between Callie and Jinsong. But the hard part is Jinsong has to kind of decide if he's okay with other people knowing that he's friends with her because she is kind of weird, a little bit different. But I highly recommend this book. Like I said, it's a pretty quick read because of how the chapters are set up, but it's well worth it. It's a really great book. I enjoyed it. Like I said, just a little slice of life book to read and learn about somebody that faces a different challenge than some of us face on a daily basis. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great day. I can't wait to see what your sketch notes look like for this. Because I think there's a lot here to kind of work with for sketch notes. All right, see ya.